This video will introduce you to a couple of components in the Diatom plugin. The first one is Mitosis. What it does is it saves a copy of the current Grasshopper file with a version number. So first of all, you have to save the file in the folder so that the component can read the path, and then you set up a button to the S parameter. You can see the component is telling you that it's already stamping a version number on the current file, 0.0. So we can actually click the button and it will save to the folder. Right next to the base file, you can see test file version 0.0. And now you can put in a number slider for the major version. So the minor version goes up by 1 every time you click the save button, but the major you have to do it manually, and there's that toggle reset with the major. Now it's checked, so every time you reset major to a different number, the minor resets to 0. Now if there is a file already in the folder, it would ask you to override it. Whether you overwrite or not, the minor version will increase by 1 with the click of a button of the save. Some metadata about the current Grasshopper file, the file path, and the last modified date time. So we can right now save a few different files into that folder. Before we do that, let's see. Clear versioning is actually clearing the version stamp on the current file. It disables itself because if it is enabled, you will see it tries to stamp it again, stamp the file with the version number. So now let's change the numbers and save a few different versions. You can see, sorry, the done is work. So let's add a few components, arbitrary component, just so this file is actually substantially different than the other versions. And then we can move on to the second component of the plugin Diatom. The second component actually traces the difference between the two files. I do have to caution you that in order for it to work, the files need to be sharing the same history. So it needs to be parent and child and grandchild, that kind of relationship. So let's copy a path to the target for comparison. That's the folder. I need to put in the name for version 1.1. Test file 1.1. And then put that into the target input. The component doesn't automatically reload the remote file objects, so the output right now, if you can see them in the panels, it's all empty. We can use a button to control this and actually reload the remote file. You can see the top panel says nothing is indexed. So right now it's looking at what's there and not here. You can toggle the subject and turn the other one into the subject and say what's here but not there. So the A output gives you the list of all the components that is here but not over there. And now we can use the index to look at each of them. The M or metadata output should give you the name and nickname for now. The version that you download might have more information, as this is actually recorded against a beta version. So as you scroll through those, you can actually let's look at the files first and see if it's working. You can see there are only 4 of those, and then the circle and move and 2 extra sliders are not there. They've been detected. So now we can add a rectangle here so that we can test the other way around. It's actually looking at what's here and not over there, or rather what's in the target and not in the base. To do that, you actually need to invert this back. So you can see the rectangle is over there, but not in this current file. So every time you scrub through the index, you can actually toggle a jump function. Right click on it, disable jump. You can enable it. What it does is every time you scrub through the scroller, it would actually focus the canvas and center it on the component that is indexed. In this file, of course, in this file, all the components are here but not over there. So every time you refocus the canvas, you will see in the dead center of the canvas is actually the component, which is of course in here, but not found in the other one. So this is also a good case to use the remote control panel in Rhino so that you don't have to look for that slider every time it jumps to a different focus.